On this day, on the 22nd of May, 2 years ago, we moved to Thailand and we've never looked back.
Let's talk about that. Officially, it's been 2 years on this day, the 22nd of May. It's 2 years since we packed our bags, sold everything that we had, hopped on a one-way flight to Thailand as a family. All that we had was 4 suitcases.
And 2
that
kids.
was it. Yeah, we never looked back. And now we're here, glorious, rural Thailand. Just want to talk about our journey today.
Yeah, we've been on a bit of a journey. We've moved 2, 3, 4 times now.
Yeah, we've moved several times. No, it's not all sunshine and rainbows. We had difficult times, but also we had, lovely time here in Thailand. Met a load of nice people, a load of different people, a load of opportunities open for us. Yeah, let's get into it. What do we miss? What do we miss from the UK, from our life in the UK? Moving to a different country, it's a difficult choice. It's not as easy as packing your bags and going. You have to leave things behind. You have to quit your job. You have to sell things. It's not just, oh yeah, I'm going to buy a plane ticket and that's it.
There's a lot of things to consider, and obviously it was my parents that dropped us off at the airport, and it was a really emotional goodbye, and we had a big family get together before we left, and obviously that's the thing I miss the most. We're quite a tight-knit family, and being away from your family 24/7 is hard. It's really hard.
It's the obvious, isn't it? Friends and family is the thing that you're going to miss the most.
We're lucky that obviously we live in a day and age where there's so much technology. Like, I speak to members of my family and my friends every single day out here. You're up to date with everything. It's just hard not being in person. But then it makes it even more special when you do book a trip back, or if they come out and see us out here. So yeah, it's the hardest thing, but like you say, you've got to make sacrifices at some point. So
number one, we have friends and family, which is the thing that we miss the most. Second would probably be, for us, food. Sometimes we like Western comforts, we like a burger, we like a pizza, we want a doner kebab.
It's not even like British cuisine we miss, because what is that? But we miss
it's everything else.
We miss the takeaways that we used to get in England from other places. Like a good Indian takeaway or a Mexican, or you can find it in Bangkok, of course, but out here in rural Thailand, very difficult to find these things, and especially good versions.
I mean, you can find it, it's hard to find a good one. Even like a Sunday roast. Anyone will tell you out here, it's hard to find a proper Sunday roast. And
even to make it yourself, like the ingredients aren't that hard.
Like the other day we went looking for sausages. We can't find sausages.
We'll find them one day, but we don't want to have to go on a hunt every time we fancy a Western comfort, so that's the hard part. This is going to sound a bit rogue, but the weather, I actually miss being cold sometimes. You're going to disagree because you hate being cold. But
yeah, I mean, it was cold a couple of months ago. It's freezing. We're driving on the Farang here. It's freezing on the way to school.
October to Christmas in the UK is my favourite time of year. I love the season change. Season changes is what I miss. I love when the leaves go brown and they fall off, and even snow. Just that time of year, I miss that. Putting on a nice jumper, lighting the fire, having a warm meal. You just can't do it out here. It doesn't feel right. It's not ever cold enough.
Well, I like the British countryside. So I'm a country boy, and British countryside is one of the nicest scenery that you'll get anywhere in the world.
Rain or shine, we used to go out all the time, didn't we? Out for walks, even just drives if it's pouring with rain, just through the countryside.
On long drives.
We enjoyed that, just getting a coffee from a local coffee shop, getting in the car. Even when we had the babies in the back, they used to love it. Take random stops and let them roll in the grass and jump in puddles. Like, you can't beat that. I should ask you though, what do you miss? Because this is technically your home. So do you feel like you're at home, or do you miss England?
Oh, I've lived in England most of my life, and I miss a lot of things about England. There's a lot of customs that, it's different here in Thailand. You just have to get used to it. I know how Thais operate, so it's not so much of a culture shock, moving here.
Well, that's what I mean, because for me it's completely different, but for you, you've experienced both, so...
Yeah. The only thing out here is, I find that my Thai, I struggle a little bit, because I was thinking to myself the other day, I'm like, why am I so, struggling so much on my Thai? I was born and raised in Isan, here in Surin, and we speak Lao. So I never actually learned Thai, so I figured that I never actually knew Thai. I just picked up from words that I know from my Lao language, because I am more competent at Lao than Thai. So when I speak Thai, it's like, some words people don't understand what I'm saying because maybe I'm mixing Thai and Lao without like knowing that it's Lao. And I'm just thinking it's a Thai word, you know what I mean? So struggling a little bit every now and then, you know, when I'm having more in-depth conversations and things like that. But yeah, other than that.
Obviously for me that's the hardest part of being out here is the language, but things take time. And obviously we've moved around a lot and we're just getting settled. The kids are starting to learn it at school, so hopefully it'll all come in time. There's no rush for these things. We plan to be here forever, so we'll pick it up. But obviously sometimes just standing around when there's Thai conversation going on, you feel a bit awkward. Like, I understand what's going on, I understand the topic of conversation, I just don't know enough to join in yet.
Do we have any regrets? Is there anything that we would change about our move to Thailand?
I think it's all hindsight, isn't it? In hindsight, we would change a lot of things.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that we would change because
At the time, we did what we thought was the best thing.
Yeah, so one of the struggles that we had here in Thailand is visas, you know, getting visas for everyone, making sure that we can stay here legally. You know, that's the first thing that you need to sort out. Is what visa do I need to be on to stay in Thailand long term? I'm Thai, but when we moved, I didn't have my Thai citizenship. And I didn't have my Thai ID, Thai passport, anything.
Because we could have had the visa all sorted in London before we left.
Yeah.
But without his Thai ID, it's pretty much useless. You can't really do anything.
And it's one of them things, I can't sort it in London. I have to come to Thailand to sort it.
Yeah.
So the first month or so, we spent sorting that. During that month, we needed a visa. So Camilla, and also myself, could stay in the kingdom while we're sorting all this out. And the visa that we chose, in hindsight, we should have just done border runs.
Yeah, we chose an education visa, and that's a 1 year long visa, but it's very expensive. And obviously every 3 months you've got to go and check. You do that at 90-day reports anyway, but we actually had to go to the school and take photos and everything, and it was a long process, and we just wanted to set up the farm at the time. So
I think it cost
a bit
us
of a headache.
Around probably all in all £3,000 on the
I
education.
think it's more than that, but if we worked it out, probably.
It was quite expensive because we paid an agent to do it as well, and then travelling to and from, because we did it in Pattaya in Chonburi.
Because your original house book was in Pattaya, we weren't on the farmhouse at that point. That's another thing.
Yeah, and then we lived on the farm.
Yeah, all these documents you need to update and change. That's what we had to be in some place for this and one place for this, and until you have everything in order, you can't then move on to the next step.
We needed to sort these things out and make sure it's all in order.
In hindsight, we would have done things a lot different, but it's happened now and it's led us here. It's what it is.
We got the education visa, which is a non-O visa. Is it a non-O? No, it's an ED visa.
ED visa, yeah.
And we needed to change from an ED visa to a non-O. So then, to change, we needed to leave the country and come back.
Yeah.
We couldn't do it within the kingdom, so we had to do a border run anyway to Cambodia.
And obviously, Nat entered Thailand on his British passport, so he then had to leave on it to enter Cambodia. So he had to pay for a Cambodian visa, even though Thais get 14 days free.
Yeah.
So it was an expensive
We had to pay
trip.
for a visa for everyone to go to Cambodia and come back to Thailand. So.
But we had to get him entered in Thailand on his Thai passport, and for me to have left the country to come back to get a non-O visa.
So Camilla would be on a tourist visa when she comes back.
Yeah.
And then from a tourist visa, she can get a non-O.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's all these like things that we didn't know beforehand, but hopefully this information is useful for some of you.
If you need any advice, we'll help as best
because
as
I know
we can.
we've had multiple emails of Thai individuals that's living abroad that are considering coming back home. These things are important to know.
Yeah, and they want to know how to get their Thai ID, what they'll need, and
because we certainly didn't know half of the stuff that we did now, and we've been through it now, so we know a little bit more. So if there's any of you out there that's considering the move that are Thai and lost your citizenship or whatever, just send me an email or whatever. We'll sort you out. Initially, when we moved to Thailand, our plans was to do farm work and to live at the farm, to generate money from the farm, and that was our plan.
Yeah, we had a house and 3.5 ride to work with, and we were setting everything up nicely, weren't we?
Yeah, I had a rough idea in mind. Things just didn't go to plan,
Yeah.
Like the trenches for the fish didn't. It did my head in because it wasn't dug correctly, and it causes a load of trouble, costs us a load of money. The chickens as well, we should have just went all in on the chickens straight away and just built the chicken hut
Just chickens
Bought a
and
load
fish,
of
but fish
chickens.
maybe in the ponds just to start with,
Yeah.
and then build up to the trenches. We don't regret anything. It's all a learning curve.
Yeah, obviously we were new to it, and we
Yeah.
didn't mind, making
No.
mistakes. We knew we were gonna make mistakes
Yeah.
because we're not farmers,
And although that's the life we aspire to have one day, we just weren't ready for it at that time.
Obviously we got 2 little kids. If
Yeah.
you didn't know, we got 2 little girls, and we knew the farm is not gonna generate us enough money
Yeah.
to survive out here long term in Thailand. So we had to do something, and I said to myself, let's move to Bangkok. The best opportunities will come from Bangkok. So we lived in Bangkok for a while.
Yeah.
We moved to a condo in Bangkok and lived the condo life. And
even that was a great experience. We don't regret a thing. We enjoyed it at the time. It wasn't for us. The city life wasn't for us. It's a bit too busy, a bit too chaotic, a bit too expensive.
I like Bangkok.
Yeah, I love
but
Bangkok.
It's one of them. We moved to Bangkok and it was, do I get a full-time job?
Yeah.
Which is the reason we moved away from the UK.
Yeah.
I don't want a full-time job. So we like, sack that off. So we ditched Bangkok and we said, let's move somewhere else. And now we're here, We're in Isan. This
Yeah.
is where I come from. This is Surin. So
And
just move over there because,
Yeah.
we can move anywhere. We can move to the islands. We can move
Yeah.
to live on the beach, to live in a jungle. We can move anywhere. But I said, let's move to here because I know it's cheap here.
Yeah.
It's affordable. And
Family's close if there's ever an
Yeah,
emergency.
if there's anything that goes wrong, I know there's family not too far away, a phone call away. And
And now we've made friends around here and stuff, and we feel settled. The kids are in school. This is just the place for us right now.
yeah, we found a nice house that we rented out.
Yeah.
We live in this Muban here. It's a gated community. We have a nice swimming pool. It's nice. It's relaxing. It's kind of high, but in a poor region of Thailand. But it suits us, because we have
We live near the city,
a
but
nice
it's not
lifestyle.
busy. Yeah.
We have a nice lifestyle, but it's affordable.
Yeah.
So we have everything that we had in Bangkok.
We're just more relaxed because the pace of life out here is much slower.
Yeah.
And obviously we do YouTube, and that's got a few things behind the scenes that he works on, but it's nowhere near a full-time job. Like,
Yeah.
we've got a lot
I do
of
a
free
couple
time,
hours a day.
and that works when he wants. You know what I mean? So that's what we moved out here for. We wanted to spend more time as a family and just feel relaxed, not stressed, not having to worry about bills and things all the time, and
Yeah.
deadlines and 9 to 5s, and not seeing each other that often. So that's why we moved, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, in Bangkok it was crazy. We were paying like 20 grand a month on rent, and then
Bills
spending and things like that. It's just, you're talking like Western prices now.
Yeah.
Of course, it's still affordable in comparison to living in London or Paris or whatever.
Yeah.
It
And
is a capital city in a big metropolis.
And if you're a single person, you can do it a lot cheaper. But we had a 2-room
we got-
condo, which doubles the price because we've got children.
We got kids.
Obviously, then there's 4 mouths to feed, and it's
And then we
expensive.
also got
it adds
to
up.
consider, in a year or so, kids would have been going to school like they
Yeah.
are now in Bangkok. Would have cost an arm and a leg. So
Yeah,
I'm glad.
combined.
Yeah, I'm glad we moved. We made the right choice, I think, moving out here where it's
Yeah.
more affordable for us. The other day, we talked about, we had a conversation between ourselves because
Yeah.
we have a lot of free time now. In case you didn't know, and we said to ourselves, today is Thursday afternoon. It's about, I don't know, 2:00. No, 1:30.
Yeah.
Something like that. What would we be doing on a Thursday afternoon if we still lived in the UK?
Well, for sure, we'd both be in work.
I 100% would be.
You
in.
would be.
Camilla probably would have to be as well because
Yeah, 'cause the kids would be in school now,
be
so-
in nursery, and nursery in the UK would probably have to pay for it as well, and it's expensive.
Yeah,
So
Mallory would be in school. Well, she would start school this year, and then nursery, like Nat says, you only get a certain amount of free hours off the government. The rest you have to top up yourself, and
Yeah.
believe me, it's not cheap. So to be able
so
to put them
we'd
in,
be grafting a 9
Yeah.
to 5,
we'd have to live off Nat's earnings, and my earnings would pay for the childcare. That's how it would work.
and then we were thinking like, look where we live now. Look what we're doing on a Thursday afternoon.
Yeah.
Look how we're making money. We're making videos, and I'm doing a couple hours work every night.
Yeah,
And compared to what we were in the UK, we lived in a place.
cold, damp.
If you know the UK, Wigan ain't anything special. We lived on a high street in Wigan,
Yeah.
in a rough part of Wigan. Also, there was crimes every night.
Well,
We hear sirens going past the front door.
We experienced them twice. We got burgled twice.
Yeah,
So
I had my van stolen.
yeah,
straight out the drive, and someone came in my house.
Set up your bike, put your push bike with his laptop bag over it, pushed it near the front door, ready to steal it.
And this is while we're in the house.
Yeah. If Nat didn't get up to get ready for work, this was like 5-6 a.m, he would have caught him red-handed. They literally ran out the door.
I'd have done him in. I'd have scraped his face on the pavement. You know, I'd have choked his ass out and just scraped his face.
That's the thing though, there's no morals. He's walking through my house, can see all this baby stuff and toys. They know we're a family, and they still have the nerve to steal our vehicle and then attempt to steal a bike and stuff as well.
Yeah, they know we're a hard-working family as well, you know. Yeah. The van is a source of income, isn't it? So, but people just don't care.
It's just no morals, there's no sense of community. And we experienced that, and it was scary.
And we lived in like a damp house.
There was crimes down the street, like Max says. There was a shooting, there was a stabbing. And do you want to live there with children? Not really.
Yeah, looking back, you know, the difference in our life now is drastic. And even if we had to go back 10 years down the line, 5 years down the line, for whatever reason, I still believe, you know, that our time here is well spent.
Yeah.
We deserve to have freedom. You know what I mean? We deserve to have free time.
If we had to go back for whatever reason, I don't see that as a failure or anything. I wouldn't ever regret it either. Like Nat says, we've done so much in just 2 years compared to what we were doing in the UK, because we only had the weekends in the UK.
Well, just look at it this way. On average, you get about a month's holiday a year. A month's holiday a year in the UK if you work at 9 to 5.
Yeah.
So how many months would it take until retirement? How many months would you get for holidays? Not that many, you know. We probably already had that. We've been out here 2 years, so that's 24 months.
It's 24 years.
That's 24 years of working we've just had on holiday.
We would be nearly 55.
So to answer the question, do we regret it? No, not a chance. You know, essentially had 24 years of holiday.
And this isn't a bashing England video, because we love England. We're just
comparing, you know.
We're comparing the lifestyle. It's different.
Contemplating the difference.
Yeah.
And you can't really deny it, you know. Monetary, we have less money, but then also we have more freedom, which to me is
priceless.
Yeah, it's worth far more than money can ever buy, you know. And yeah, we're happy. I'm getting fat again, you know. In the UK, I've been trying to gain weight for so many years, and I've just not been able to, because I'm always active. I'm working 9 to 5 for God knows how many years, like hard graft.
Yeah. That's why it gets to me a little bit when people say Nat's fat.
Yeah, I'm enjoying life.
Genuinely, he isn't, because in England he wouldn't have breakfast, he wouldn't have enough time. He'd get up at 5, 6 a.m.
6 a.m. I'll be out the door.
I'd make him lunch and he'll bring it back home because he said he didn't get time. So that's 2 meals he's missed, and then he eats dinner and we go to bed. Like, that's a sad existence. And he literally couldn't gain weight. He had a jiu-jitsu competition he was underweight for.
Yeah, I joined a competition. There's a video on our channel. I joined a jiu-jitsu competition and the weight category was 73 kilos. I said, oh yeah, no problem. I'll gain weight to get up to that weight. On weighing day, I weighed 69 kilos.
That's the most he could get up to.
So I was 4 kilos below the person I was fighting. And that's without him rehydrating and all that. That's my heaviest.
And that's you trying to gain weight. Like, he actually had to train and try to eat lots to get to that weight. Before then, he wouldn't put on weight at all. He could eat anything and he just wouldn't gain weight because he's so active.
Well, I'm happy now, you know. I'm a happy budder, you know. I've got that budder belly.
This is enjoying life. This isn't overweight. I might be. I've had 2 kids and I don't stop eating. But
Right, guys. So we've got to pick the kids up in a little while. So we're going to end the video here. So I hope you enjoyed the video. It's just a little discussion, you know. Just looking back, 2 years, crazy.
Yeah, happy 2 years.
Yeah, people didn't think that we'd survive 3 months, let alone 2 years, and going strong, I would say. You know, we're more comfortable now than we've ever been in Thailand. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm gonna leave it here. The camera's overheating now as well. It's too hot out here.
Yeah,
so
in this nice tropical country.
If you have any questions, we'll do another video or whatever.
Yeah, we might do a live stream at some point so we can actually have a conversation and chat to some of you, because we've made a lot of close subscribers, haven't we? Loyal fan base.
Yeah, so leave your questions and that in the comments. Cheers, guys, and we'll see you on the next one.